Well, hello there. Happy Friday. Happy weigh-in day for me. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Tracy, and this is the way I see it. I just got back from weigh-in and my Weight Watchers meeting, and it was awesome. Today, we went through the topic of overcoming stress. And it's just like from the beginning of this year, all the topics have just been so right on. I can't even tell you. So I know you guys know about my wedding last month, and I've shared a lot of what's going on, but there are so many things that of course are just not needed to post on social media or to take outside of your family and your inner circle. But this topic, overcoming stress, was really, it hit home quite a bit for me because it really would explain a lot of the up and down that I've seen in the last month. There's been so much, you guys, and you know me, I keep it real with you and I share a lot, but then there's just some things that need to be shared, some things that don't need to be shared. Well, today I'm going to share a little bit with you about some of the other things that I haven't been talking about, why I've been a little bit quiet lately. You haven't seen as many videos, and I haven't been as active on my other social media platforms either. Transition. Although I love, there's a plane, I don't know how loud it's going to get. Let's see. Transition times for me are tough. I'm sure they're probably tough for everybody. Maybe some people thrive on newness, and I like new, and I like change. I don't like redundancy all the time. But huge transitions, like getting married, they're wonderful. It's great and it's exciting. But along with getting married and a move coming up next week, just this year, I've had to do a lot of soul searching and make some other changes in areas that affect other people. And let me just tell you a little bit about me. I used to be a super duper people pleaser. What other people thought and whether they were happy with me was probably more important to me than whether I was happy myself. And so recently, and it hasn't just happened overnight, it's come gradually, but the people that it affects, it's affected them more and more and more, and they've kind of tried to exhibit some authority, and I just have to bow out of all of that. And it's not easy, y'all. It's not easy to let somebody down, but I've had to make some changes and some decisions in my life that don't please people, and it's hard. And so when we were talking about overcoming stress, it's stressful when you have been a former people pleaser, and yet no matter what you do, have you ever been in a situation that no matter what the decision is that you make, you're gonna hurt somebody or you're gonna let somebody down? Well, that's kind of where I am. So I've made the decision that's best for my life, that's best for my marriage, that's best for just best for everything. So anyway, I'm glad to have been final in that decision in the last week and to kind of just let that go. And then there's been some other things that are exciting and amazing that I can't quite share with you, but it's coming soon, and I'm super duper excited about that. So there's been so much more under the surface than I've been able to share on social media. So as that kind of calms down and my life begins to find its new normal, I'm happy that I'll be able to show up a little bit more, and also that possibly the scale will show it a little bit more. So I said all that to say, when transition times come, we can't always just plow through and keep going. Some people are amazing at that, and kudos to them, but not me. You're gonna see it. I'm a real face value kind of person. What's going on, you're gonna see. And so, I had that spike in my weight, and it really took a toll on me. I didn't really talk about it very much but it really took a toll on me because it's just not a place and a time in my life when I want to see things like that continue to happen. And then you'll see a little bit later why it was not a time in my life when I really wanted that to be happening. So anyway, how did weigh-in go? I know you guys are waiting for that. So weigh-in today. So let me recap. Last week, actually let me back up a little bit. So 2 weeks ago, that's the last weigh-in video that you saw. 2 weeks ago, I was up 6.4 pounds because of all the celebration. The fair was in town, and then I flew to New York. It was just crazy, a lot of movement, still a lot of that transition, and a lot of fires going on underneath things that you knew nothing about. So that 6.4 pounds was merited, and I had to deal with it and show up and work it off. The weigh-in that you did not see last Friday was I was down 1.4 pounds. So I lost 1.4 pounds of that 6.4 pound gain. So then how did I do this week? You guys, this week I went total back to the basics, totally looked at everything. The only thing I didn't do was a lot of exercise, but I did mind my Apple Watch. I didn't close all 3 rings, but I closed 2, which is the movement ring, that I was actually moving enough. It wasn't the exercise ring. And so I felt good about that I was getting in some movement. But for the most part, I slayed the sugar beast this week. Because anytime my eating's going to get out of control, it's going to be because I'm eating way too much sugar. And so I stopped that. And so what did I do? I decided on 2 days ago, this will be the 3rd day, I decided that I was no longer going to eat sugar for 10 days so that I could bring myself back to a normal place, get myself back to some semblance of eating like I have some sense, right? Because I have just, even last week, it wasn't, I mean, 1.4 is great, but I had a lot of excess weight to shed, and I think I could have done better, but I hadn't slain that sugar beast. So this week I did. And what I did is I went back to a lot of the holistic principles that I know of, and I got back to my protein and my vegetables. And then when I'm not eating sugar, y'all, I'm good. I'm good. I know my vices. So just all the excess stuff. I'm so proud of myself. I bought this thing of Mentos, like, I don't even know, a week or so ago. And I have not unwrapped this thing. And I don't plan to. So this week, what did I do? I did, let's see if it's going to show. This week, I lost 4.2 pounds. I am so happy. I am so happy. I really didn't know what it was going to be. I just knew I was going to do exactly what I know to do to be on my very best behavior. And sometimes that seems impossible, but this week it was very possible. And so 4.2. So when I add the 4.2 to the 1.4, that is what? 5.6. So I've taken off 5.6 of those 6.4 pounds that I was up. So not quite back to where I was before, but that's okay, you guys. I am moving in the right direction, and I did a really great job last week, and that was without any focused exercise. So no Zumba classes. Yeah, so this week I'm going to try to add at least 2 of those back into the week, and I should get quite a bit of movement because I've got to pack. and so there's still a lot going on, but I am so proud of myself. And let me just say thank you to every one of you who is a subscriber or a regular watcher of these videos, who doesn't just like turn off when someone isn't doing well. You know, that's the one thing about this community that I really appreciate. And then we have those wonderful lurkers and trolls and people who want to hit the dislike button or whatever anytime someone gains. That's not what this journey is about just constantly going down the scale and never messing up. Good for whoever, right? But there are plenty of us who go up and come down because you know what? Life happens. And sometimes we just have a week that sucks. And you know what? That is okay. So thank you so much to all of you who just stay in the game with me, and I appreciate it. I know it's been a long journey, and it's going to continue to be a journey, and I'll be doing this for as long as it takes, because all I know is I do not weigh 329 pounds anymore. I weigh 288.6. So that is a blessing to me, and I am on my way to size healthy, whatever that may be. So I'm going to come back and do a separate video on this week's topic because it was fantastic, and there's a lot of really great things to think about in this, and I know it's a subject that hits all of us in some way, shape, or form. So stay tuned to that, either coming out probably tomorrow. I'll probably have that done tomorrow. Keep me in your thoughts as I pack and we move next week. So I have all of this week to get my things together. Thankfully, it's not a quick have to get everything done in a week kind of thing. Because I have some favor with where I am right now and not having to pull everything out immediately. But even still, it's a move. So it's a lot of work. So I love you all. Please let me know how you're doing. I did mention before about before I left and before, things went a little quiet, about another way for us to stay in a little bit more communication. It's funny, I see in the community that that's beginning to happen more and more. And I think it's great for us all to communicate and to uphold one another. So I do have a Facebook group coming for us. It is an old Facebook group that I had long before I ever started Weight Watchers, so it's not a brand new idea. I didn't get it from anybody. It's something that's been on my mind to do for a while, but with all the life transitions, I just didn't get it launched. So that will be coming in the next week or two. So look for that, and I hope you all will join me over there. But in the meantime, a great place to connect as well is over on Instagram. I'm trying to get back to showing up there as much as I was before too. But what matters most is that you're here with me now. So let me know how I can support you. Leave a comment. Let me know how your weight loss is going or not going, and just how I can encourage you, pray for you, whatever I can do. All right, you guys, thanks so much for watching. If you haven't taken a moment to like, to comment, or subscribe, then please do that right now. And I love having you around, and I'll see you soon.